What's up, guys? This is Wade from Tables, Ladders, and Bumps. We're a wrestling podcast. We got Marlon here. We got Pierre here, aka Super Kick Pod, repping Kobe after last week. And and yeah, we're gonna go into a Raw review. After that, we're gonna go into a 3 count, going into a bunch of different things in wrestling as a whole. We're going to have a tinfoil theory, and then we're going to finish up with our no hate, just debate. It's going to be Marlon and Pierre debating a wrestling topic of my choice today. And yeah, guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We have tons of wrestling content, videos posted multiple times a week. I have a large all-in review on the channel too that was just put up. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the Raw review. And Pierre, you want to go first on this?
Yeah, so I don't have a Raw review. I got a SmackDown review. So my thing
Oh,
came
that's
from
right.
SmackDown this week. I'm picking the interaction between Solo, Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu. Um, we had a topic like a while ago. It was that Jacob Fatu is going to outshine Solo Sikoa, and it kind of seems that that has come true.
Yeah.
That was a rumor before. And we see him come out and just the first time he popped up, this is like better than anything that Solo has done in a very long time. Just the emotion and stuff that he shows, his acting. And so it's like he's already to me surpassed Solo Sikoa right now, even though Solo is the tribal chief or the head of the table or whatever, because he has the Uber follow.
Thank you
And
for
so we
recognizing that, by
saw,
the way.
yeah. So we saw this past week that Solo told Jacob to step up and then hand over his belt to Tongaloa. And Solo was Jacob was kind of like wasn't like pleased by it, but the tribal chief told him to do so. So he's honoring the request of the tribal chief because he's following. Yeah, we get put prayer hands up. Wait, you get your prayer hands up. And so he's
I love
honoring
you,
the tribal chief.
Solo. Solo, I love you.
So he's following the rules of the tribal chief. The tribal chief told him to give his belt up. That's what he did. But we can tell that he wasn't pleased by that. So I feel like at some point, Jacob is loyal to the Ulufala, not so much Solo Sikoa. And that was foreshadowing, I want to say maybe a week or two before, when Solo told Tamatanga that if Roman Reigns got the Ulufala back, you would have to acknowledge him as the tribal chief. So I can see that happening with Jacob in the future when Roman gets that Ulufala back. So I don't know. I guess I just want to get you guys' thoughts and opinion on that interaction between Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu.
I mean, Tongaloa deserves that belt more than anybody in the bloodline. The man has carved out his own lane of wrestling. He's he has separated himself in his own lane in the bloodline too. I'm honestly bummed that he lost the patch, but anyway, no, I feel like I rewatched it and I was trying to like comprehend if that's the typical face that Jacob makes because he's just always intense and he always
Mm-hmm.
stares, into somebody's soul when it happens, or if he was really upset about that because he won the belt, right? I mean, he was
Yeah.
there when they won the belt fair and square, and I couldn't tell. So I like. I mean, if it is cause for a turn or if it is cause for him to acknowledge wherever the Ulafala goes, I think that'd be pretty dope because he'd be like a radical. He'd be like a maverick or just somebody true to the bloodline. So I think that'd be sick.
What you got, Wade?
I I just got more questions on, is he actually cleared? What
Right,
is, because he has
right,
the boot on, but then he's doing like crazy stuff that
right.
for sure you should not be doing with a boot on. So
Oh, so I saw a clip today with them overseas, and he didn't have the boot on.
okay, so it's just an act,
So to
perhaps.
work.
I was assuming since he's doing like the Samoan drops like at times 10 speed and everything that he's doing that there's no way you could be cleared and actually be wearing that boot, in my opinion. But um he has I'm like sick of the aura thing, but he definitely has more aura than Solo. He's being asked to do something completely different though. And it's something Solo can't do, and almost virtually no one on the roster can do what Jacob Fatu can do with his explosiveness in the moves.
They scare people.
And scare
Mhm.
people. I think his facials are they're kind of cool. I get. Sometimes they're a little bit cartoonish to me,
Mhm.
which I'm fine with. But it's yeah, and his eyes and everything. It is kind of scary, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm not. I'm
Wait,
trying not to hate on him.
real quick, when he was rubbing the belt, you remember that when he was
Yeah,
caressing the belt?
yeah. It was. I find him very entertaining, regardless of if I think it's kind of cartoonish at times. I'm drawn to whatever he's doing. I didn't really look into. I felt like he was acting that way to. I don't think it was. I think it's a red herring, in my opinion. I don't
Mm.
think he's turning on Solo anytime soon. I feel like with him wearing the boot still, it logically makes sense as to why
Yeah.
he wouldn't have the belt. So it didn't seem that strange to me personally. But yeah, he's overshadowing everyone.
Mhm.
Like they haven't even had him really square up against Roman all the way, because what he does is way cooler than what Roman does.
Yeah.
So if you had now the Roman's acting and his promos are so much better, and we haven't really had Jacob Fatu actually do a promo. So, but think what a year and a half, 2 years ago, everyone was on Solo's jock when he was just looking menacing and stuff in the
Yeah.
background. Everyone was obsessed with it. So I think he's given a very specific role. I don't know how he would do if he was given Solo's role because I haven't seen it. Maybe he
Hmm.
could just do crazy promos, but I don't think it's necessarily. I don't even like Solo that much, but I don't think it's like super fair to compare them because they have completely different roles right now. But I do think he is being outshined.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Cool.
I thought that
No,
was
that's
very
kind of what.
evident.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the outshine thing was very evident when Roman came back at SummerSlam and they had Solo, not Solo, they had Jacob on the sidelines injured, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
if he squares up against Roman right now, it's definitely going to take away from Roman's aura. So, and all the more Solo, um, who's already supposedly outshined by Jacob. So I feel like that would have been a huge blow to Solo's character or role if Jacob was able to go up against Roman at that first encounter.
You know what belt Jacob wouldn't have given up? Planet's champion belt. He wouldn't have given that up. No chance. Marlon, what's your raw review for the day?
I want to talk about. Oh, Pierre, did you have to say something else about the
Oh
the
yeah.
Solo thing?
No. I'm all good.
Okay.
No, we're cool. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. My raw review for this week was just a bunch of meat slapping going on. Just giant slabs of meat in and out of the ring. Oh my gosh. No bread, no water, just meat. Uh, talking about Bronson Reed and Braun
Oh, okay.
Strowman.
I didn't know what you were talking about. Watching.
Dude, Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman had me from the bell to the parking lot. As soon as that bell rang, I see Braun Strowman going for a drop kick, but he couldn't get up that high. So I think he like kicked Bronson either in the legs or in the gut. So he couldn't get up all like as high as like you would expect him, obviously. But like, dude, that was so sick. It was just slamming each other in and out of the ring against ring posts. Didn't Bronson Reed jump through the ropes?
He did.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know how he did that.
Oh my
That was a tight
God.
fit.
I freaking love that. Um, Yeah, and then it just reminded me of old like Attitude Era type stuff, like just taking cheap shots, him waiting behind the curtain for like 10 seconds with the trash can.
It went on so long.
You see him like grab the trash can and just like it looked like a third person shooter, like just like just the breathing. And I was like, when is this dude coming out? And then as soon as he comes out, he just like throws it at him. I loved it. And then there was another part that had me when they were climbing up the blocks kind of by the wall in the car. And then Bronson Reed just takes a pipe out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the hell did that come from? I didn't see him grab that. Anyway, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I popped again. I told you guys yesterday when I watched it on mute because I was in an office at like a client's office. I was watching it on mute. I was dying. It was so much more comical. Anyway, goated match for me for this year. It was like so good. Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. What did you guys think?
I'll go real quick.
Yeah.
So dude, I love the match. Like I thought initially it was gonna be where not necessarily that Bronson Reed was gonna squash Braun Strowman because I don't think needed to happen right now because they wanted to build it up as like a Godzilla versus King Kong or two kaijus versus each other or whatnot. So you needed that. I didn't see there wasn't my bingo card. Bronson Reed hitting a tsunami off a concrete platform into a car, and
So
there wasn't
cool.
cracking into the knife for me. Like I wouldn't see 10 tsunamis, but I'll settle for that for now. And I think it's still coming to where we're gonna get a bunch of tsunamis, and he's really going to squash Braun Strowman. But I think it's just once again, man, they're doing an excellent job with building up Bronson Reed. I don't know why it took so long for them to do this, but I'm happy that they're doing it, and I look forward to it continuing. Like I don't think he's gonna make it to the final four of the tournament, but I think Strowman's probably gonna come out and interfere in that. And so he's gonna be tied up in that. But I just like what they're doing with Bronson Reed right now. I love it. So great match. Run it back. Do it again.
Back.
Yeah, I loved it. When you were talking about the pull or the pipe, I thought it was just a fake pipe at first. I thought it was maybe going to be a plastic or something that was fake, and then he throws it off to the side. It's like cling cling cling. And I was like, oh, that's a real pipe. I that was probably maybe a baton, like basically like a running baton. That still hurts though. There's no way that's not gonna hurt. Yeah, that match would. So I was thinking when Bronson Reed dove through the ropes, I've seen girls sit on the ropes and extend them for someone like Io Sky to jump through, who weighs 100 pounds, and Bronson Reed is 4 times the width of Io Sky and somehow made it through without anyone doing that. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, but yeah, you saw the ropes like flopping after he went through. I couldn't believe he made that. Because it's easy. I've done that like in practice, not jumping onto people, but from the outside in. And you could get your feet caught on that really easily. So I don't
it's impressive to see him do that.
Yeah, super impressive. So yeah, I was just really huge fan. I'm hearing feedback on
me too.
What is going
Is that
on?
me?
Do you have earplugs in, Pierre?
No, I got my microphone out. Maybe it's me. Let me see. Let me do this.
Let me.
Better?
I don't know.
Test.
Maybe I'm not hearing it.
Test.
I'm not hearing it now. Okay.
Maybe because the microphone by the speaker. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I think it's too close. I had to volume
okay.
up.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. Okay, sorry. But yeah, I was incredibly impressed with that, and yeah, I just even the small thing of just having the small explosion on the car that a car wouldn't explode in that spot ever probably, from someone jumping on it. I don't think. But yeah, it was great. I win the match. Initially, I was annoyed because the match basically was double count out, and I've seen them do that before. And usually it pisses me off, but when he threw the thing at his head, waiting, like you said, and then Braun Strowman's just throwing random jabronis like against
Yeah.
against things, I was so pumped. I thought, okay, this is actually awesome, and I was worried for no reason. But Marlon, our Braun Strowman or Bronson Reed shirts, they'll be here tomorrow, I believe. So we're gonna
Yeah.
be ready to go. $8 shirts.
Dude, what a steal. What a steal. Sweet. Yeah, so that's it for my Raw review. Wade, what do you got?
I'm going to talk about the Terror Twins. I have been liking them, but that promo was doo-doo butter that they had where they were like, it's so good to be bad. It was like a corny, I don't know what kind of 80s edgelord kind of thing that was, but that was a terrible promo. And it took me out of them as characters so much because they're baby faces. We know you can kick ass. You don't need to talk about being like
Right.
bad to the bone. It was just whoever wrote that promo needs to be in timeout because
Yeah.
that was terrible. I hated I was cringing with almost every line in that promo, and generally I've liked most of what they've done, and I feel like we're lucky that they're so over right now as baby faces that it doesn't matter that much. But whatever that was, don't
do that
don't
again.
do that again. That sucked ass. So I don't know if it was just a me thing, but you guys know how much I like both of those characters. Did you guys also think it sucked ass, or were you super pumped thinking they're bad to the bone and you want to get a bad to the bone Terror Twin shirt?
Maybe that's what it is. They're just like spinning a hook for to sell merch with it on it. Yeah, no, I wasn't crazy about it either, man. It was kind of corny. I was like, this is like 80s level corny or even worse. No, I wasn't a fan. I had nothing more to what you said because I agree.
No, I definitely see the point too. Like, I did see something where they was kind of like trying to pay homage to Sid and calling themselves like the masters, you know, and rulers of the world, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know if they added more to it, you know, to try to
That
incorporate
part
like
was
more like
fine.
yeah. So I don't know if they were trying to add more to it or whatever, and that's what all like we're bad and we, you know, been the baddest and we started Judgment Day. So I mean I get it, but like you say, you guys are like faces now. So you guys can't really just talk about all the bad things you guys did back in the past. Like it doesn't work like that anymore. Like you know, we know you got beef with Dom and Liv and Judgment Day. Just kind of focus on that. But while we are talking about the topic of the Terror Twins, I do want to revisit one of your tenfold theories, Marlon. Like it kind of came true in a sense. I don't remember it completely in detail, but I do remember you saying like there was gonna be some type of pairing between Rhea and Damian Priest, and we seem to have gotten that. You know, like I don't think it's gonna turn into anything more romantic because they kind of look at each other as like big brother and sister type
Yeah.
of thing. But we definitely are getting that type of relationship between the two of them, and so I just kind of just want to point that out. Like some, you know, it kind of turned out in a certain way that, like you said, so that's cool. And I like the team of them. I'm looking forward to the match Saturday. I'm hoping that they win. We'll see what happens, but yeah. Besides that promo, we can do without that again.
And we're still waiting to find out if Paul Heyman joins the Wyatt Six for my tinfoil theory that time. So
Let's go.
There's
It's not
still
too
time.
late.
There's
It's
still
not
time.
too late.
If that happened, oh, I'd
If
get
that happened,
what is he going to be, Grandpa Howdy? Like what?
if that happened, I'm filling out an application for you for WWE writing team. Like I'm filling it out on your behalf.
Oh man. So, guys, that was our Raw and SmackDown review. Let us know what you thought. Are you a fan of the Terror Twins cringy promo? Uh, how do you feel about Jacob Fatu? Marlon, I already forgot what your thing was again. Oh, Bronson Reed. Have you guys also bought the Bronson Reed clearance shirts yet? Let us know in the
I'm
comments
getting mine
below.
today.
And yeah, now we're gonna get into our 3 count. Pierre, what do you got?
Okay. Oh, before we get to that, let's mention that we are looking to go live
Oh,
for the
sure.
September 13th episode of SmackDown. So our first live together, we can work out all the kinks and bugs, but we're looking to do that. So make sure you guys tune into that. Hopefully, I'll have my Bronson Reed shirt by then, and we just rock all Bronson Reed shirts. I know,
Yeah.
I know it's SmackDown, so it might not make sense, but still, we got to do it. So look forward to that. Make sure you guys tune into that. September 13th, Friday Night SmackDown when it moves to USA. Hoping it's going to be a crazy show. It probably will be. We might get another like 4-second championship win like we did last time when SmackDown went to Fox, but we'll see what happens. Let me get into my 3 count. And so it kind of similar to like last week, but I had like a question for you guys. But it is like something that I kind of been thinking about. So we mentioned about like Chad Gable in the past, how I think we all kind of felt like he should have won the IC title.
Mhm.
And I think he's long overdue for a title, a singles title, you know? So keeping in that same lane, besides him, who is give me a female and a male wrestler in the WWE that you guys think deserves the title. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the world title, it's some type of singles title. And then for the women, I know they only got just the 2 main titles, but if they ever do come out with the mid card title, who do you guys feel would be a good fit for that deserves that title that hasn't had a title or something like that?
I'll go with the US title. I think Carmelo Hayes would look great with that title on him. He's had beef with LA Knight in the past, and I think he would sport it really well. I don't know how long LA Knight's going to have it. I assume it's going to be a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But if they could build Carmelo up to Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, I feel like that'd be good. That'd be a good rivalry, and for him to have it. For
Yeah, I can see
women,
that. Well, real quick.
hmm,
So not more so like someone that's new, but someone that's been there, like, kind of like that
hmm.
hasn't had a singles title, someone that's deserving. Like to say like Chad Gable,
Oh,
who's been around for a minute.
okay.
Anyone like that?
Let me think about this. Waiter, you could go if you got one.
Uh, yeah, I would pick Xavier Woods.
Hmm.
I don't think he's had any title at all.
No,
I'm fairly certain he's had no singles
no.
title. And I've talked
They
a
make
bunch
point
of
of that. Yeah.
times. I feel like his in-ring matches are now better than Kofi's. He's someone you could always count on for a good match. He could wrestle
Mhm.
kind of
He had great
however
matches
you
against
need
Gunther
him.
too.
Yeah, he had
Mhm.
awesome matches with Gunther. Um, like at least 2 or 3 that I liked a lot. And yeah, you could put him in. He kicked ass this week too. He's awesome. I feel like he needs a title stat. I would even
Mm-hmm.
be fine if he breaks up with Kofi and you move him over to um SmackDown
SmackDown.
and he goes for that. That might be a good feud for um what's his name? For LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Mhm.
So
So
I know probably who Marlon would pick for his women's one. So I will Marlon, you could go for your women's pick, and then if you don't
Dakota
pick,
Kai. Dakota Kai.
oh, okay. Well, then I was
That's
gonna
mine.
choose something else. Okay.
You know, we talked about Dakota Kai before, man. She's got it, but I mean, she's not it, even though she's got it, right?
mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, you know, she's sustained an injury. I don't know what the injury is. Do you guys know what the injury is with Dakota?
Meniscus.
I think
It's meniscus.
Oh
yeah,
my
Yeah.
God.
That's pretty
8 to
minor
10 weeks, I think.
of knee. Yeah,
Of knees.
that's
Yeah.
and by the time that she's out, they're just scoping and cleaning it out. So if they did a reconstruction, that would be
Yeah.
like 6 months. So
yeah. For female, Dakota is my person for sure. Who are you gonna say?
oh, Chelsea Green is my pick.
Uh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean both of those are probably. I mean, the only other one that hasn't really won that's been in for a while would be like Kairi Sane.
Yeah, I was thinking about her
For women.
Mhm.
I guess Shayna Baszler, but
Yeah.
I still
Mhm.
would. I feel like Kyrie's putting on better matches than Shayna right now. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Chelsea, especially they need the mid card titles.
Mhm.
Especially, I feel like Raw.
Ah.
It's so obvious because they have uh this Rhea and Liv thing going on,
Mhm.
and that's taking up all of the title thing, and there's yeah, there's nothing going on. I mean, I guess they do have the feud with the Pure Fusion Collective, and oh God, I hate that name. And um, you mean Damage Control, and like it seems like Damage Control's over, but they need something else on
Mhm.
that brand for sure.
Mhm.
So, who's your men's one, Marlon?
Montez.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I think Montez should get something too. He should get a run. I don't know what U.S. title would look good on him too, to be honest. So,
You know, like
I'd say
honestly,
Montez.
when some of you guys' answers, like I had wrote down a couple names and Woods on my list. Um, even like Street Profits have been tag team champions, but they haven't been in a while. So I think they kind of deserve that. And like you say, Montez Ford, you know,
Mhm.
Shayna Baszler, because she's been there for a minute. Like when me and Wade had went through it, you know, and like she's like 44, and we're like, what? Like what? Like we
she's
didn't even know that,
old.
you know?
Yeah.
But she's still out there, like putting in decent and good matches at times. You know, like she's pretty reliable when it comes to it.
Mhm.
Um, and so for her to never have had this the women's title and SmackDown or Raw, whatever the case may be, I think she could have held it for a little bit to help get over another face or something like that for the time being.
Karrion
Like I said,
Cross.
and we already know like Chad Gable, we talked about him. We've been talking about him like for like weeks at a time. I think Chelsea Green, like Dakota Kai. Chelsea Green, she's been putting in work, like
Yeah,
on screen. And see, and if we coming through with like Liv Morgan having a title and not really having matches, just doing character work, Chelsea Green does phenomenal character work.
Mhm.
I think she's good at with a mid card title. Like I would have loved to see her as Miss Money in the Bank. I think
Mhm.
that would have been hilarious. And then for the probably possibly cash in and to just win, I think the pop would be crazy because I remember that one pop she had in Chicago, or
Mhm.
when she was in that triple threat. I think it was like her, Micha, and Bianca Belair, and she got a big pop. So
Mhm.
like yeah, so
she
those
gets
are
it
some of my
next year
people.
for
Like
sure. I think.
think so, Money in the Bank,
I would bet money on that.
or you think they do King and Queen of the Ring again
She
next
ain't
year?
gonna go through a whole gauntlet of people and winning unpredictably, like four match. That's too much. Like she could sneak in and pull a
Uh,
Christian Cage and you can climb a ladder or something like that that fits her character. I don't see her just somehow she'd have to flukishly win four matches in a row, and that kind of taints the tournament a little bit, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
For one round, it's fine, but uh, yeah, you didn't have Karrion Cross on your short list.
no.
Ah, all right. Yeah, yeah. We all make mistakes once in a while. It's fine.
Real quick, when you mentioned Christian Cage, him being involved in like the first few matches of All In, that
Oh
had
yeah.
me. When he would just he just inserted himself in those matches. Anyway, that was hilarious. Uh, Pierre, you got more on your topic?
No, that's it. That's the wrap for that. Who's
Um,
next?
I'll
It's
go because
Marla.
we talked about Money in the Bank and we talked about you know, what's happening with Chelsea Green on SmackDown. It just I've been thinking about SmackDown in general. like I don't know what it is about SmackDown that is so anticlimactic for me. Like there are certain storylines that I'm okay with following. Like I like the Bloodline 2.0. I want to see what's going to happen between this pretty deadly collaboration
Yes.
with Nia Jax and
That's
Tiffany.
it's the A storyline.
Yeah, I mean, there's like random elements in SmackDown that I like and I enjoy, but when I'm done watching the show, this used to be the show that had me wanting more at the end of like I was like, oh man, I wish it was a longer show. But now when it's like over, I'm like, okay, I'm glad that's over. I don't know why things just aren't clicking for me on SmackDown in the last like probably 3 weeks, maybe longer. But I mean, they got good people on there. I remember when they did the draft, we were talking about how dope their roster
Yeah.
was. They got some heavy hitters on there, but as far as like storylines go, I don't know. I'm just unsettled about it. What do you guys think with how SmackDown's being run right now?
Go ahead, wait.
Is AJ Styles dead?
Wasn't he in Japan?
Oh, he is in Japan.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
because I was
yeah.
thinking he hasn't been on TV since he lost the second time. That's right, he was in Japan. I feel like they built him up a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and he's kind of important. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool again. I liked his matches. Sending him over to Japan's cool though. So I forgot that they had sent him, but yeah, that's one of the people I'm more interested in on that roster. I think they have got something. If they just have small things, I don't think the bloodline thing is fine. It's not like uh Roman came back, but Roman hasn't done a promo yet, which kind of annoys me a
Yeah,
bit.
same.
Mm.
It's not like his move set of like finishing moves is that cool that I want to just see him come in and hit a spear and a Superman punch
Right.
in the last 5 minutes and then get fatal. It's I don't know. I'm kind of not into that much. I want to see his promos and I want to see that story go with him and The Rock and all of that. So I'm unsatisfied significantly with that storyline. Cody, I see where it's going with the Randy Orton thing. And so we just gotta wait this week, and then I think, okay, we're getting the turn after that. So I feel like once that happens, we're gonna have things kind of pick up on SmackDown a lot. But really, the only storyline that I find interesting is the Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Pretty
Pretty deadly.
Deadly
Mm-hmm.
thing, and then you get Chelsea Green trying to create problems too. Like I'm
Yeah.
kind of into that. And then I'm also
Mhm.
into the street fight that they're going to have with Michin. That should
Yeah,
be
me too.
pretty cool. But even Bianca Belair, like, I don't like what she's involved in. She's kind of in that thing to help Jade. Is it helping Jade, though? Doesn't seem like it. Like, she has a cool entrance and looks jacked, but I'm not buying a Jade Cargill shirt, no matter. And I will say, in person, I met her. She is way more impressive in person with how jacked and everything she is, because she's like pretty tall too. But yeah, I don't think that mission of building up Jade for this turn. I don't even care if they break up tomorrow. Do
Right.
you? Does
Yeah.
anyone?
No, I wouldn't be
I
affected.
It seemed like they were waiting for WrestleMania, but no one. I don't think anyone cares. Really, I like Bianca a lot too, and I want to like Jade. They've given me a blank test paper. I have nothing to grade on this. It's just
Mm.
there. So yeah, the stories kind of suck. But yeah, you got the Carmelo and Andrade thing is one of the best things on there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which was a fluke thing. I don't think they meant for it to be this, but those guys
Right.
just
yeah.
got good chemistry. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. I don't really like I think NXT has way more interesting stories than SmackDown right now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I was just laughing at that the vignette that Carmelo was doing in the barbershop.
Oh
Oh
yeah, that was
And
yeah.
great.
and Andrade comes in. Like, we gotta lock the doors when I'm talking.
Yeah.
It's it's so true though. Like
Yeah.
I'd be pissed too if
Yeah.
I was at my
Like, how are you
hangout and this doof Magoo comes in threatening me.
He's like, how are you
Yeah,
just
that's
gonna let him
true.
walk in
It's
while
a
I'm getting a
barbershop.
haircut? Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah.
dude, I agree too with the feeling of SmackDown. Like outside of the Bloodline stuff, nothing for me really like stands out and it has my interest. I feel like I can see where the Nia Jax and the Tiffany Stratton thing is going. Like I feel like with that, you got Nia claiming she's the queen of everything, and then there's one true queen in WWE, Charlotte Flair. She's still out to come back.
Mm,
So I'm waiting for that to come back. And Charlotte Flair are automatically number one contenders no matter what it becomes. So
Yeah.
you
automatic
get
money in the bank.
that. So she gets that cash and she cashes in the match, and then you get Tiffany Stratton cashes in, and then Tiffany becomes new champion. That's how I see that playing out. And you possibly get like a Tiffany versus Charlotte at like Mania or something like that.
That'd be dope.
Uh, but everything
Yeah.
else, like you get the Profits, they're in like limbo. They put on great matches and then they just stuck down. They just lost. You know, DIY who had a great match against the Profits too. So now what? So now we're gonna get the three Profits in DIY versus the Bloodline. And that's what it looked like it's gonna be. We get an 8-man tag. So it's like, do we necessarily need to see that? Do we want to see that? And what's the outcome of that? It's gonna be Bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter froze.
Yeah. Oh, well, I forgot about freaking who's
Waller and
Oh,
Theory.
dude, I forgot about them. I actually kind of like that storyline a little bit with them.
Me too.
About to break up. Pierre, are you there? Your face is frozen. I think he froze. I didn't. I thought he was just keeping that face when I said I liked the Austin Theory and Grayson Waller thing. I was like, dang, he hates it that much. Yeah, there's just no good, like, super captivating storylines.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just packing it in because aren't they leaving Fox
Right.
in a month?
Yeah.
Is it a month or is it at the end of the year?
Is it the beginning of October when SmackDown goes to USA?
And then whatchamacallit goes to CW, right? The same time?
NXT. Yeah. Oh, maybe SmackDown's going to USA earlier. Because you're right, the CW is in October for NXT.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's October for SmackDown. Maybe that's why they're not trying.
Maybe. I don't know why they wouldn't put their best efforts in though.
Well, they're setting up this stuff with Randy Orton and
September 13th, a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the turn from Randy Orton.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe a vicious turn too. Or more
Maybe
vicious turn.
that's kind of weird because they're having Randy Orton be on NXT like in October when they go to CW.
CW? Yeah.
Isn't he on it?
Yeah, him and CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Yeah. There he is.
Dude, you froze when I was saying, oh, I like the Grayson Waller storyline, and then you just froze, and I thought, man, he hates it that much, and then I realized your computer froze.
All right.
But,
well, with everything that's been said, let me ask this last question, and then we can move on. What is the best storyline of SmackDown right now, or what is your favorite storyline? Let's make it easier. What is your favorite storyline of SmackDown right now?
For me, it's Bloodline, really. Because I've been invested into it for so long, so I'm looking forward to see how it finally like plays out, really. So that's for me, it's Bloodline.
Okay. What about you?
You're just sticking with it, like hoping they're gonna get a Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Since they got the what's his name? Samoan werewolf or whatever. No, mine's a Tiffany one. I find that one more. I like Pretty Deadly a lot, and I enjoy that they're like the jesters right now. And I like the kind of subtle change that Nia has had since she actually got the title, because before she was just kind of a badass and really nice to Tiffany, and now she kind of sucks to Tiffany.
Yeah.
And when Tiffany turns on her, it's going to be extremely justified because Nia sucks right now towards her. So, especially when you have someone that's been nice to you, like it, I think they're telling that story pretty well. I hadn't thought about the Charlotte Flair stuff. I just keep forgetting that she's coming back soon.
Yeah.
And she will get a title shot. So, yeah, I don't. Yeah, but mine's a Tiffany Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit biased. I like them a lot, and I'm not the biggest Solo fan, so the Bloodline one ain't gonna be it for me.
Yeah, for me, it's the Bloodline too. It's just, I think it just holds the most weight, and it has been for SmackDown for how many years. So I'm still into it too.
Oh, and Pierre, we were contemplating, since they're leaving Fox, maybe that's part of the reason they're not trying as hard with the stories. And Marlon looked it up. They go to USA on September 14th. I'm
13th.
predicting 13th or whatever. Yeah, so that Friday, I'm predicting that's when Randy Orton turns heel.
Oh, snap. And Friday the 13th, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
you need something big. Yeah.
Dave, bad
so
luck.
So that's what I'm predicting. Then for my 3 count, I just want to talk about All In, and I wanted to I loved the pay-per-view overall. There were only 2 matches I wasn't a huge fan of. And even the Jericho one kind of or I wouldn't say surprised me, but I liked it more than I expected. But the Britt Baker Mercedes Moné match was not it for me. And there's a whole analysis on our channel, in depth on that match, and every match on the card. But the Bryan Danielson Swerve Strickland match, I think it might be my match of the year. It's up there for me with Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay. Those are 1 and 2 for me. The feelings I had for Ospreay, or for Danielson versus Swerve, I've never been that pumped for a babyface just sitting at home watching it. Like I was doing the like yes points at the end. I was all into it. And then I had talked in my review that when I watched Danielson and Ospreay, and as someone learning how to do professional wrestling at a very low level, obviously, watching them and seeing how they could tell tell a story in a match, and just how technically sound they were and the crazy stuff they could do, it was like seeing the face of God in a wrestling match. So it's hard for me. Both of them are very different matches, but both of them have Bryan Danielson in them, and it's my like 1 and 2 for match of the year easily. But I know, Pierre, you watched the whole card. And Marlon, I know you've seen some of the matches and like a lot of the stuff that happened in it. I wanted to know what you guys thought of it.
I'll go. So for someone who doesn't regularly watch AEW programming, but I am still familiar with probably like most of the people, that was there like at All In. So that concept with, it was like I forgot what it was called, but it was like a Royal Rumble type thing, but it can end at any time. Like that was cool, and then you get a contract. So it's like the Rumble mixed with the Money in the Bank in a sense, without the ladders.
Yeah.
So that was a dope concept. Concept to me was that I really liked the MJF match. Like the showmanship that he came out with, like dressed as like Uncle Sam, pretty much.
Apollo Creed.
Yeah, all that stuff, man, was awesome. I wish he would have won, because I wanted to see him do more with the American title.
Yeah.
So I hope that maybe they keep it in some way and do something else, with it. But I thought that was be a real like dope idea to just continue on with that. especially with the election going on this year. You know, like I
Mhm.
think it just adds to everything. You know, for him to be that dude. Um, the Daniel Bryan Swerve Strickland match, like another great match. You know, like I didn't know who was supposed to win or who was going to win. I kind of had wanted Swerve to win. Like I thought that from what I gather in the story was this is going was probably like I'm about to call him Daniel Bryan like JR did, or Bryan Danielson's farewell match. You know, I thought they was trying to set up to it. Maybe this is part of the story. So it was like, yo, if he goes out like this is great, you know. And I guess I'm kind of accustomed to seeing people have farewell matches like this to where they don't necessarily come out on top. You know, like the one that comes to mind is like Flair. You know, Flair versus Michaels. But then you had Sting, who went out in a blaze of glory, you know, and went out on top, you know. So I mean that's cool. So AEW is different that way. That tag team match was pretty cool to me. No, Young Bucks, FTR, the Acclaim, that was solid. Like that trios match, another like just good to me. You know, like I didn't have stuff that was like terrible, except for like the same two that you didn't like. You know, for the most part,
Yeah.
was the same for me. You know, like but watching All In, and I'm like, man, you told me it was like 8 matches. And I'm like, man, I think I got to like it might have been like Darby Allin versus Jack Perry. And I'm like, how many more matches is left? Like it's I feel like it ran long. I think I started that mug at like 2, and I didn't finish at like 6:30. I stopped and went to like Walgreens and came back. And I'm like, man, this is a long pay-per-view. Well, yeah,
Oh yeah,
pay-per-view.
because you watched the pre-match too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through. I'm scrolling through everything. I'm like, well, this ain't the show. I still see the countdown, and I'm like, man, how many matches are in this thing? This is like 18 matches in this card. But to have so many matches and for it not to be like trash is surprising to me. You know, like to have, like you say, you have 8 main matches on the main card, and 2 of the 8 aren't up to the rest of the part of the rest of them. I think that you win. You know, that's a good win. And like once again, like not watching the programming so much, I'm still into the matches because the matches are just good wrestling in the
Yeah.
matches. You know, like
Yeah.
I can gather so much of the story just through the match itself. You know, like I didn't watch any. I don't know what transpired between Swerve and Danielson to know what was going. You know, why they was right where they were at. But just from the match alone, back and forth was cool. You know, so
Yeah.
like I enjoyed it. You know, and this is their WrestleMania. Like, yo, it's real cool. This is AEW WrestleMania. Like in Wembley, like awesome. You know, like I will buy this again. That's it. I want to spend $50 again. Like I do wish they had streaming because I'm
They
spoiled
might
now.
soon
Yeah,
because
so I'm
that
spoiled now.
that
Yeah,
deals.
but I want to pay 50 for every pay-per-view. But if they get some type of streaming service, then man, that's great. So yeah, what do you think, Marlon?
Yeah, from what I saw, I watched. Here's how I watched it. As soon as the programming is done, people upload it to YouTube, right? And
Uh,
they're up there for a short amount of time. But the aspect ratios are off, so they're not showing the exact
Oh yeah.
program. So sometimes it's like zoomed into weird things. So I watched like an hour and a half worth of those, just so I could get the story and what unfolded. And they would show, I think when they splice those up, it's no longer than like a 3-second clip, so they don't get flagged. So they're splicing them pretty fast. And I loved everything that I saw. I know it was like a Cliff's Notes version of it, but my favorite moments were Tony Storm and
Yeah.
Mariah May, and
yeah, how
Mariah
about
May turning on her own mom.
Yeah. Slaps her mom in the face.
And then Tony Storm taking her mom into her bosom.
that?
I thought that was freaking. And then by that time, Mariah May's already bladed. I love that part. And then her like Mariah May just like giving Tony Storm the finger um, when she like got out of like a 2 count or something like that. I
hmm
thought that was really cool too. Loved all the entrances. The Jamie Hayter one was freaking
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
The return Sting coming out was awesome. Loved that.
hmm
I will say out of the matches that I did see, the MJF versus Will Ospreay one really took the cake. I mean, like you said, Wade, Ospreay is the darling of England as far as wrestling
Yeah.
goes. He's the guy. But like you, Pierre, it would have been sick if
Oh
MJF
man.
came out on top. Like,
And they
that
bust
would
out
have
that
been,
American flag again at the end.
yeah,
Oh
that would have
man,
been
that would have been
amazing.
sweet.
And plus, like you said, the whole election thing going on right now, just running with the whole American theme,
I
like that
think
would have
that's why
been
they're not doing it anymore. I'm pretty sure that's why they're not doing it anymore.
so yeah, no, I loved everything that I saw. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the Swerve Danielson match yet, but I'm sure I'll get around to it. Oh, and then speaking of Swerve, that entrance with the Trill version of Big
Mm-hmm.
Pressure with Bun
Yes.
B coming
Yeah.
out. Oh, that
And
that
West Side Gun.
that and what's like, oh man, I
Yeah.
was like that. The entrances are all loaded up on YouTube under AEW's account, so I got to see like the legitimate versions of their entrances, and I was like, this is sick. That song just came out like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't know I needed it in my life, but I loved that part too. That was a great entrance.
You
Yeah.
may guys may be surprised. I had no idea who that was out there singing this. Yeah. I saw you like message about it. I was like, oh, I heard his name. I didn't even know that's who it was in the thing, but I was like, oh, this is sick. Like I liked it, but I wasn't I was more into Danielson and the final countdown personally,
Right,
but
right. Which was also
uh
dope too.
I popped for Bun B, and then I popped again for West Side Gun.
But yeah, no, that was freaking
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, you're just saying that. I'm like, yeah, I certainly did not know. Uh, I haven't been in the rap game for a while since like high school. That's what I was listening to it all the time. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I loved it, man.
yeah, that Tony Storm and Mariah May. I think it was you, Pierre, that you're like, yo, this is wild. You texted in our chat. That was I was super sleepy for some reason that morning when I was watching it. And that match got me super hyped.
Yeah.
I was good to go. It was like I just finished a Red Bull. But yeah, I had said in my review that that story, and then we'll end with this for this part. But I think that story that they told with Mariah May, where she basically was an unknown. She was in Stardom for a year or two. How many people in America actually watch Stardom? Like this weirdo, and then you mean a few thousand other people, but it's not like a really, and she wasn't like the main champion there or anything, but they bring her over and put her in this 9-month story that culminates her winning in her home country, but being a heel. And
Yeah.
it just that whole story. A lot of people, and I don't have a bias towards WWE or AEW. Like generally it just depends on the week who I like more, because I like different things for each one. But a lot of WWE fans always talk about how AEW doesn't have good stories or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that 9 months of that story that they had been building up with Tony Storm and Mariah May, leading to that point where they land the airplane, and just the style of wrestling, and it's melodramatic, but also they hit each other way harder than other girls hit each
Yeah.
other, and it's just way more violent and you get blood. That's as good of a 9-month story as you really can have. And I know people talk about the blood. Yeah, it's been like 3 years, and you can't compare any storyline to that. But
Yeah.
other than that, I would put this Mariah May and Tony Storm on any top tier WWE storyline. I feel like it's to that level. And what they did, making Mariah May into a star.
Mm-hmm.
How many times WWE done that, where they bring in an unknown person, and then in 9 months they're the world champion and a legitimate star? I can't think of anything off the top of my head where they've actually
And then
accomplished
also
that.
like real quick too, like just going to like the story part, like how often have you ever seen like a great story from the women? You know, like
Not
No,
super often.
that storyline definitely put AEW's women's booking over WWE's for this year, I believe. Because
Yeah.
before that was the struggle, right, Wade? Like
It was
people were saying
terrible.
AEW needs to book women better. But I think that compared to what WWE has done this year, I would definitely give that to AEW. Just on that alone. Plus there are other good storylines underneath that too. So
Yeah. with women's, AEW had that Mariah May, Toni Storm story. They had a pretty the Britt Baker, Mercedes was an interest, whatever, that was an okay story feud, even though it was short. You have the Willow Nightingale and
Willow.
Chris Statlander story that that was like a 6-month story at least, maybe longer, that had been built up, and now they're kind of doing that. And then Deonna Purrazzo and oh gosh, why am I blanking on her name? Thunder Rosa. That's they have that's 4 legit storylines that they have that I would say, what on WWE, what do you got? You have Liv and Rhea.
Yeah.
And then is there really, you can have the kind of the Nia and Tiffany thing is starting to develop, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's like a legit actual storyline. So yeah, I don't know. I've been impressed with it. I'm glad, Pierre, you liked it and didn't feel like you wasted $50. It's gonna be in Texas next year if you want to go. I'm going for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be in Texas, so I'm pumped for that. I'm 100% going to that.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to Wrestle Dream in like a month and a half. So I don't know when Bryan Danielson's retiring, so I got to get whatever matches I can get before he retires in person. So, but yeah, guys, that's our 3 count. Let us know your thoughts on SmackDown stories or lack thereof. Pierre, yours was the
Who deserves a championship?
Yes, the who deserves a championship, which I'm super interested in seeing what people say in the comments below on that, because there's probably some we totally missed. And then if you guys watched All In, let us know your thoughts on that below.
And watch the review. Watch Wade's review.
And watch the review. If you got a lot of time, I get into almost every topic on that thing. And Pierre has a tinfoil theory. I'm excited. Oh, I just saw what you use as the shape from the other side. So, okay.
So,
all right, Pierre, let's go.
Keeping it short, keeping it sweet, keeping it crazy, as usual. But I don't think this is too far out. So we know we got the mixed tag match at Bash at Berlin, Taylor Twins versus Dom and Liv. Watching last week, we saw that Rhea Ripley gave a riptide to JD McDonough easily, like effortlessly, like made it look like he was like a baby. I feel like WWE has had intergender matches way long time ago, but I feel like we could get that again. And I think the first of those matches would be Dominic Mysterio versus Rhea Ripley. I don't think that's too far out to even think that that's a possibility now. I think so many people want to see that, like they want to see Rhea Ripley get her hands on Dominic Mysterio, and it's believable that she could really manhandle and destroy Dominic Mysterio. So that's my theory, that at some point, I don't know when, if it was up to me, I have like 80 matches on Bad Blood. Because I feel like so many people have beef with each other.
Everybody's got beef, yeah.
But I know that Liv and Rhea are tied up at Bad Blood, but that could have been a thing where it could have been Dom versus Rhea at Bad Blood. I would have took that match too as well. But yeah, man, I got an intergender match between Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio happening in the future. That's my tinfoil theory.
How about WrestleMania? That's a WrestleMania match. No one's taking a bathroom break for that.
Rey Mysterio again at WrestleMania.
Well, no. You could have that. You could wait another year for that and just have him wrestle Rhea. That's a big time match.
Yeah.
As silly as it sounds, if you don't want to give Rhea the belt again because you feel like she can't lose, I think that is a legitimate WrestleMania match. I think. You do Hell in a Cell with.
Oh God, that'd be great. Or a strap
and it's
match.
Just Dom getting fatality'd for like 15 minutes. It'd be so cathartic. That's an awesome. I don't even. it is a tinfoil theory because WWE is so against it. I
Yeah.
feel like Jeff Jarrett is like the last one that they had oh no, what's his name? Hit the end of days on Becky Lynch.
Corbin?
Corbin.
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot
That's
about
right.
that. I don't think that was legal, but that's like the last time that we've seen a dude do something to a girl, right?
What about when
I think
Orton
so.
hit the RKO on
RKO.
Nia?
Yeah,
Well,
he
it
always
was like
does.
three of them. It was the RKO. We had the zigzag, and we had the 619 all in one match against Nia
That's
Jax.
right.
Yeah. They should just do it. I don't get why there are people aren't some random people who don't watch WWE will complain, but who cares?
Yeah.
No one who actually watches and is a fan is gonna actually be upset. And if anything, I think it's very pro women to actually
Yeah,
treat
I
her
think so.
equal to the guys that you
Equality shots.
Yeah, it's equality.
Equality
Equality
shots.
low blows.
Equality
Listen,
low blows.
I had to wrestle a girl at Greco State one year, and I suplexed her on her head twice and got booed. And she was in my weight. Like I like you'd think everyone would be cheering for me with this since I treated her the same way as the guys, but no, everyone was like upset. I got booed super hard, and I go to the brackets after, and one of my friends goes up to me. He's like, "Did you hear some a-hole suplex the girl twice?" And I'm like, "Dog, that was me." And he said, "Oh, it's kind of funny now that I know it's you." Yeah, I got booed so hard.
It's like that one scene in 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. It's like when he punched that gay dude. And then Jonah Hill was like, it would be discriminatory for him not to punch him. So now I agree, Pierre. I mean, like, because China was involved with mixed tag matches a lot too. And she was even in a triple threat, I think, with Stone Cold.
Intercontinental champion, I think. She had a belt.
Yeah. So I'd say it would be legit because Rhea's a force.
Did Rhea beat Tozawa?
Who?
Did she beat Tozawa? I know she's rocked Tozawa.
I don't know.
I think they did wrestle.
They should just do it. They might be saving it for a big pay-per-view.
Yeah. I think Rhea could pull it and Nia Jax could pull it as far as doing a mixed tag.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, that's what I got for my 10-4-30 this week.
All right, guys. Do you think we're going to have Rhea Ripley versus Dominic Mysterio in the near future? Do you want it at WrestleMania? Do you want it as a Hell in a Cell? Let us know in the comments below. And for the no hate, just debate. And this, Pierre, you kind of brought up the Casino Gauntlet match. And I've seen 3 Casino Gauntlet matches that AEW has done. All of them kick ass. And it makes me feel like the Royal Rumble is kind of obsolete. We don't really have many good Royal Rumbles. I think aesthetically, people are just stuck in the ring and stuff. But is it time for the Royal Rumble to be reworked in some way? Or do you think the Royal Rumble is such a staple that it needs to stay how it is, and maybe I'm just a TikTok brain person and I need to shut up and enjoy the Royal Rumble and respect his business. So
respect the business. Back in my day.
So I'm not gonna do numbers. Pierre, heads or tails?
Tails.
It's heads. All right. Marlon?
I'll go pro change.
Pro change?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Pierre, you have to rep the Royal Rumble.
Okay. I will. Do I get to defer? And let Marlon go first, or go first, Marlon?
All right. 60 seconds on the clock.
Hold on. Okay, go.
I need the Royal Rumble to change in a way where it used to be back in the day when it's just pure pandemonium and pure mayhem with multiple spots happening at a time, so your eyes are wandering. I know now the Royal Rumble is a spot fest. It is new person comes in, 20 seconds of fame or glory for that moment, and then they're pushed to the side, maybe to be used several minutes down the line, and then eventually get eliminated. So I feel that the Royal Rumble, what was so great about it when it first started was that it was pure pandemonium with all these stars in there. Sure, everybody's like slacking in the corner or whatever, which is still what we get now, but I just think there needs to be more people in there and more spots happening at the same time to have our eyes constantly wandering on who's doing what and tell a story at the same time if that's going to happen too. So this is one long ass minute. Okay.
That was exactly 1 minute. Pierre, your turn.
All right. The Royal Rumble should not change. WWE has tried that before with the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, when I think they had like 40 or like 50 dudes in there. And it was boo. I will agree that it shouldn't be a spot fest. It should be pandemonium, but it's still the essence of Royal Rumble. I still like the skeleton of the setup of what Royal Rumble is, and it's still used to tell stories and to rekindle old views from the past. I remember at one point having Brock Lesnar in the ring with, I think, Rey Mysterio and like the New Day, and they brought us to still smash all of them still, but they're still going back to stuff that happened before. We get to see possible matchups that we might want to see in the future. Maybe Cody Rhodes versus Shinsuke Nakamura or something like that. I know that happened before, but just foreshadowing, something like that, just things that we want to see to get to the point. And it's just iconic. Yo, you win the Royal Rumble, you point at WrestleMania sign. That's the kick off the roll of WrestleMania is the Royal Rumble. We shouldn't change it. We just need to get rid of the spots.
All right, Marlon. You got 30-ish seconds. If you're spitting straight fire, I'll let you go up to 45, but
30 seconds it is.
Yeah. Go.
Speaking of pointing to the sign, I feel the past few Royal Rumbles have been pretty, we could kind of nail it down to like one or two people, maybe three, of who's going to win. I feel that it needs to be more, and that storylines leading up to the Royal Rumble need to be more, need to open the booking a little bit more of who could really win, because whoever wins Royal Rumble is going to WrestleMania pretty much. And I feel that that road to WrestleMania is already slightly paved as far as who's going to be in that main event. So I think Royal Rumble should. All right. Go ahead.
Pierre, go ahead.
Once again, I still like how the Royal Rumble is set up, right? So who knows if CM Punk wouldn't have gotten injured, would he have been in the main event of WrestleMania this past year against Seth Rollins? It was said in that documentary that Cody Rhodes wasn't supposed to point at Roman Reigns, that he did it on his own. He took that on his own thing to point at Roman Reigns and changed the whole path of WrestleMania. Is it a work? Is it not? Who knows? But I still like the feeling that Royal Rumble could be anybody sometimes. And it should be have that feeling of anybody. Yeah, we're big fans and we're able to predict and foreshadow and just kind of know, like, all right, well, Cody Rhodes is the biggest draw, so he's probably going to be in the main event. Or Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, both solid points. Yeah, let us know who you thought won in the comments below. I don't have a strong opinion either way. I do feel like the Casino Gauntlet match is better than the Royal Rumble. Just I feel like the fact that just number 1 and 2 it could end by them pinning it, that you don't know how it's gonna go. Where like the Royal Rumble, it's like, well, this is gonna go on for an hour, and it's so long, and 30 minutes of it is kind of mid. Where with this, I think some of it is because you have all the people stuck inside the ring that are still in, that it visually it kind of
you can't focus anything. It's all clutter.
Yeah,
I also think that's why they allowed I don't know when it started, but people actually just started going being out of the ring. You know,
Oh
that
yeah,
whole thing
going
with people.
underneath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, because at first that was never a thing. You couldn't get out of the ring. You were just in that muck until the end. You know, so unless someone threw you over the top. So I see that they do try to change things and make it like visually better for us or whatnot. It's just that, yeah, it is nostalgia in a way, nostalgic, but I still feel that they can't approve it. I'm arguing my point again. I feel like they still can approve it, but like, man, but I do like that Casino Gauntlet match though. Like that was my first time seeing that. I was like what can happen? Like
Yeah.
I didn't understand at first. Like, so wait a minute, how many people coming out, or is it like what is the rules? But it's like, oh, this is dope. Like it started with Orange Cassidy, and then you had like more people come out, and then you had like now McGinnis come out. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is actually a cool like idea. You know, like I didn't like that Christian Cage won, but also I don't know the backstory to that. You know, but
Yeah, I love Christian, but even I was him limping out.
yeah,
So I was reading something, or there was like a backstage thing that happened, and he actually, like, kayfabe wise, wasn't supposed to be the next guy to come out. It was supposed to be this other guy, Evil Uno. And Christian's like, nah, I'm going. You're gonna wait until like another one. And Lucius, so because I don't think they really established this in the thing. Luchasaurus, the guy who went and helped Christian, who was on his
Kill Switch.
team, yeah, he's been called Kill Switch for like the last 6 months. And when
Yeah,
he got, and all the video stuff has been Kill Switch. When he went out for that thing, it changed to Luchasaurus. So everyone was like, "Oh shit, he's Luchasaurus again. He's about to whip Christian's ass." And then
Yeah.
no, he helps him
help them.
win.
Yeah.
But yeah, Christian. A lot of people have mixed opinions on Christian winning, but Christian's like my favorite. He's such a weenie. In the tag match, when he runs away, like as soon as it starts, he just runs away from the
I saw that.
match.
That was so great.
But yeah, guys, let us know in the comments below. Do you think the Royal Rumble needs an overhaul? And by overhaul, we don't mean more people to make the Royal Rumble even longer, because I don't think that
No.
like, you know what, this needs it to go
More
be
people.
more people and for it to last longer. That's exactly what we need. But yeah, let us know in the comments below. I'm Wade. We got Marlon over here, and we got Pierre.
Make sure you guys check us out September 13th, going live. I
Going
promise my internet
live.
will be better.
Potentially, we might be going live this weekend. We don't know for sure, but for sure September 13th. Check it out, and we'll start doing some watch-alongs. But yeah, guys, that was Tables, Ladders, and Bumps, and we'll see you next week.